Millions of years ago, the world was not a home dot, it was a battlefield. Every sunrise marked the beginning of a new war, a war for food, for territory, and for life itself. And in this brutal world, one creature ruled with a weapon so terrifying, so invisible, that even the strongest beasts feared its bite. A weapon that did not kill immediately, but guaranteed death with every drop. This is the story of the ancient Komodo dragon, and the deadliest saliva on Earth. Back then, forests were darker, swamps were deeper, and the land was ruled not by intelligence, but by instinct. Where we humans were just beginning our slow climb toward evolution, reptilian predators had already mastered the art of killing. Imagine a creature 10 feet long, weighing more than a grown human, walking with the silence of a ghost, but the power of a monster. Its claws were knives, its tail was a steel whip, but its most terrifying weapon was hidden inside its mouth. Scientists believe the ancestors of today's Komodo dragon were even larger, faster, and far more aggressive. Their saliva was not like normal saliva. It was a chemical cocktail of destruction, packed with bacteria, venom-like proteins, and pathogens capable of shutting down entire organ systems. One bite, just one bite, and even the largest animals of that era began dying from the inside out. Picture a giant prehistoric mammal calmly drinking water from a muddy lake. It senses nothing. The swamp is quiet, but the silence is a trick. A large shadow moves, almost blending with the earth itself. And then, with explosive speed, the Komodo strikes. Its teeth sink in only for a brief moment. Not deep enough to kill, but deep enough to guarantee what comes next. The prey runs. It escapes. It thinks it won, but it has already lost. The Komodo dragon does not chase Dot. It doesn't need to. Its saliva is doing the hunting for it. Inside the prey's bloodstream, a war begins. Bacteria replicate at impossible speed. Blood fails to clot. Organs begin to shut down. The body starts to rot while the animal is still alive. Hours later, the dragon simply follows the scent of decay. It finds its victim collapsed on the ground, unable to move, and ends the suffering with a final crushing bite. This is how the Komodo survived, not by speed, not by strength, but by biological warfare. Millions of years ago, survival required more than claws and teeth. Creatures had to evolve weapons nature had never seen before. And the Komodo dragon's saliva became one of the most powerful biological weapons in prehistoric history. But it wasn't just about killing. The saliva helped the Komodo conserve energy. It allowed the creature to attack enemies bigger than itself, even animals several times its weight. It could wound a giant with one bite and simply walk away. Nature, millions of years ago, was not fair. It did not reward the fastest, or the strongest, or the smartest. It rewarded the ones who could adapt, even in the most terrifying ways. And while early humans were still learning how to use stone tools, creatures like the ancient Kamodo had already mastered chemical warfare. Our ancestors knew to stay far away from these beasts. One scratch, one bite, one wrong move, and a slow, agonizing death would follow. Even today, the modern Komodo dragon carries this ancient weapon. Its saliva still contains deadly bacteria. Its bite still delivers venom-like toxins that thin the blood and lower blood pressure. Victims still collapse, unable to fight. And the dragon still follows, waiting for nature to finish what it started. Millions of years may have passed, but the monster has barely changed. It remains a living fossil, a reminder of an age when nature designed killers with patience, precision, and perfect biological engineering. In a world where every creature fought with muscle, the Komodo fought with chemistry. In a world where speed meant survival, the Komodo survived with strategy. And in a world where most species vanished forever, the Komodo dragon's terrifying saliva kept its bloodline alive. So when we imagine life millions of years ago, we think of giant predators, fierce mammals, towering beasts. But sometimes the deadliest weapon of all comes hidden in a single drop of saliva. The monsters of the past were many, but few were as silent, as patient, or as inevitable. as the Komodo dragon. Its victims never realized they were already dead. They simply walked slower and slower until nature closed their eyes and the Komodo fed. This is the world that existed long before us. A world carved by claws, ruled by predators, and shaped by survival. A world where life was fragile, and death followed quietly behind every creature, including the ones bitten by the dragon, whose saliva carried the shadow of death.